welcome to the Comfy Red Couch. My name is Tracy and I'm your host. And today, behind me, I have a big puppy who thinks that she should lie behind me in Scout. And Scout has had a beautiful haircut this past week and is feeling so much happier now that she's been groomed properly. So a huge thank you to both of my sister-in-laws who came on Thursday and had the clippers out. It took 4 of us to get her groomed, but she looks absolutely gorgeous and a lot more comfortable and definitely a lot less choppy of a haircut. So I'm not sure if she'll get up at some point to share it with us. I'll sort of lean a bit, but she's looking pretty good. I also put a photograph on my Instagram page. So welcome to the Comfy Red Couch. This is episode 21. I'm not sure what I'm going to name this episode yet, but it'll pop up on the down bar at some point, probably right early at the beginning, so you'll know before I do. Anyway, my name is Tracy. I'm coming to you on a beautiful day in Toronto, and it is just a glorious day, so I'm hoping to maybe quickly finish the episode so that I can enjoy some of the day because tomorrow I head back to work. You can find me as Tracy RR on Ravelry, and on Instagram I am Comfy Red Couch, and I'm welcoming everybody to the podcast. A huge welcome back to anybody who is a returning viewer, and if you're new to the podcast, welcome. I hope you've got a little bit of time to sit down and that you enjoy what you're going to see. So I hope everybody has their requisite cup of tea or coffee or beverage, whatever it is that you are trying to enjoy today, and that you've got your project bag and are ready to sit with me for a few minutes as I chat away on the Comfy Red Couch. I don't have a Material Girl segment or an It's a Sockness segment this week because I haven't cast on any new socks yet. And I'm still in the process of straightening things. I did move my spinning wheel down to the 2nd floor earlier in the week, and I'm still sort of trying, and we moved some furniture around in my knitting room, and I now have to start putting things back in their places, and figuring out places for some of those things. So busy week. I did set up my ball winder, and it winds so nicely, so I'm very happy that I did invest in a really great ball winder, and I wound up the yarn for the Country House Retreat, and I'm excited to start knitting that. I haven't started yet, but I want to get a couple of things finished first, and then I will get that on because I've got a little bit of a leeway on the date there. This morning I am drinking my lovely tea that was sent to me by Sarah of Cauldron of Colors, and it is something I've shared before. It's the rose lemonade tea, and I got a wonderful package this week, and inside was some rose lemonade tea, so I thought today I would have a lovely cup of that. And I am drinking in my favorite Haunted Mansion mug that at the very bottom says "Hurry Back." And I got this mug 2 years ago about this time, the end of August, and it's one of my favorites. I love the colors, and just it's a fun mug to have, and it is nice, warm, big, a perfect size for when you're a little bit tired. There's actually no caffeine in the rose lemonade tea. That's the Taylors of Harrogate rose lemonade, and just popped in the tea bag today because it was just a easy tea making day. And so one of my favorite teas today, and to everybody who's enjoying your cup of tea right now, or coffee, or whatever it is you're drinking, cheers. Today we have no It's a Sockness, no Material Girl, so we're moving straight on into my favorite things. And this week I did not have a chance to work on my Scottish Thistles Nova Scotia pattern that I showed last week. However, the recipient of that pattern surprised us with a drop-by earlier this week, and it was a lovely little visit, and I did show it to her. It's for her wedding, and she loved it, and agreed with me on the choice of beads that I had chosen. And I just didn't have a chance to sit down and work on it this week, but I do have a couple of weeks because the shower is in early September. So once I finish off the project I'm about to show you, I will really start working a lot on the Scottish Thistles shawl. But what I'm going to show you is in my Cape Cod National Seashore bag, and it is my mix and match sweater, the one that I'm test knitting for Mina Phillip of Knitting Expat. And I have, let's see, that's the back, a body. No sleeves yet, but it is coming along really, really nicely. And I cast off yesterday with just a regular 2x2 hem. Now the mix and match, you can sort of pick and choose as you're going. So there are two different types of collars. I just chose the regular one because I am not a sweater knitting aficionado, and it's been a while since I have actually successfully knit a whole sweater and put it together and everything. So this is my first time doing a top down. So I thought, let's just go with the easiest thing to get this knit, give myself some confidence, get it off the needles, and do it within a timely manner so that I could actually give Mina some feedback. So I just went with the regular 2x2 rib, and then I did the regular stocking stitch body. So there's two different bodies you can choose from. The one is stocking stitch and the other one has a pattern to it. And I just wanted something simple, as I said, gain confidence, and lots of stocking stitch. And then at the bottom there's two different bottom ribbing sections. So you can choose to have just a straight all the way around, or you can have one that's got like a bit of a drop back. And I was originally going to do the bottom where it's a little bit shorter in the front, and then the hem of the rib section in the back is a little bit longer. But then Nathaniel said to me that the swatches looked like pockets. I thought it would be kind of cute to put it on, one on the front and one on the back, so that if Nathaniel decided to put his sweater on backwards or frontwards, it wouldn't matter because it would look pretty much the same. So that was why I decided to just go with the very simple even ribbed hem in the long run. So he did try it on yesterday. It fits absolutely beautifully. He's got room to grow into it, and it just sort of fits a little bit right on his hip. So I'm not sure how much this will grow when I block it, but it'll be nice because it'll be something he can actually grow into, because he's a pretty skinny little kid. I'm absolutely thrilled that I've made this much progress on it, and now it's just the sleeves. So I'm hoping that maybe next week when we sit down again, I will have a finished object to share with you, and I can also have all of my notes to Mina so that she's able to publish this pattern so that everybody can knit away on the mix and match sweater. So it is as I said, a lovely jump into sweater knitting without jumping too far in the deep end. So I sort of jumped in the middle of the pool. I'm loving the color, and even though it's just a regular Cascade 220 Superwash Merino in worsted weight, it's really nice to work with. It'll be really great for care, especially with an 8-year-old child wearing it. And this is the green, but it's only a number, so it's color number 15. You're so funny. Look at that, just stretched out on the couch, pushing me forward, more forward. So color number 15 right here. And so hopefully we'll be able to get this off the needles very soon. And even though it technically is sort of not attached to any needles at the moment because I've got to start the sleeve, I'm hoping to do that today. And I'm hoping that it won't be much longer, and I'll be able to share this with you next week and get Nathaniel wearing this probably early October, because I'm expecting it to be a really hot September, but who knows? We shall see. So, mix and match sweater coming along nicely. Scout is pushing me further off the couch. The next thing I have to show you, last week I pulled this out, talked a bit about it, and completely forgot to put a new progress marker on. So hopefully this week I will remember. But this is my Lemon Difficult brioche shawl that I'm making, and the Lemon Difficult is by Kate Atherley, and I am using a skein of Wildflowers by Lichen and Lace, and I'm also using a skein of Calm Waters, also by Lichen and Lace, and they're both 80/20 sock. And on my Instagram, I took a photograph and put a new stitch marker, and the stitch marker I chose was one of my Harry Potter, Homespun House Harry Potter collection sucre miniatures that I got probably in, I think, June, I think late June, maybe early July. So here is the Lemon Difficult, and the first week that I talked about it, I then put on my apple strudel. The next week I talked about it, I put on my snow cone. Then I put on my teacup that's my little chip from Little Skein in the Big Wool. And then I put on my coconut drink from Sucre Miniatures. And then I put on the Harry Potter charm that was kind of a bit of a spoiler a couple of weeks ago. I don't think it's as much of a spoiler now because I've got the new one to show today. And then last week, after the podcast and before I started doing any knitting, I put on my lovely little cupcake shawl that has cupcake progress marker that has a lovely little star, and that was, as I said, one of the Harry Potter ones. And I pulled it out of the bag last night because I had not done anything. And so last night, as I watched some TV and just had fun with talking with Isaac, I worked on my brioche and did a fair bit, I think. I had to do some surgery along the way. That was a bit challenging, but I was definitely glad that I had this, and I showed this a couple of weeks ago. This is my Fripperies and Bibelot Stitch Safe, and this is the 4mm one, and I was super glad I had this. It's amazing. I showed it a couple of weeks ago, and if you ever have a chance to get any of these, definitely worth it, and easy to sort of keep by me. And yeah, I did some successful saving of some, or just repairing of some of the mistakes I had made in my brioche. And it was kind of funny because all along I've been really, really good. And then for some reason this week I just, I guess maybe it was the TV, watching TV, I made a couple mistakes, but I was able to get them all fixed. And I'm thinking that my Lemon Difficult shawl is looking pretty good. So as I said, this side is Calm Waters, and this side is Wildflowers. And so today, keeping with the tradition, and the great thing about this is that I'm really feeling guilty at the end of the week if I haven't done anything, because I want to show you at least some progress. So by putting my progress keeper on, I am actually sort of making myself do, even if it's just 1 repeat or 2 repeats, I've been making myself get a little bit more done, which is great. So this week I have taken the Pina Colada off of my If You Like Pina Coladas hat, and I am going to put it onto my Lemon Difficult, so that next week, hopefully when you come and visit with me, if you come and visit with me, I will have a little bit more to show. And we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping I try to at least do 2 repeats a week because every little bit counts. So that is my progress on my Lemon Difficult shawl this week. So not too bad. I think it was about 6 repeats yesterday, so I was pretty impressed with myself. After I cast off the bottom of the mix and match sweater, I thought, okay, you know what? I need to work on something else tonight. I don't want to cast the sleeves on quite yet because it was a lot easier to show it without any needles attached to it for sure. But so I thought, you know what? My lovely brioche shawl, which I was hoping to work on earlier in the week but didn't have a chance, got some love. So about 6 repeats, so not too bad. And for now, back into the project bag. And I have one more thing to share with you this week. And this is actually a finished object, but it needed a little bit of repair. And this is Nathaniel's little knit elephant. I think the pattern is Elliot. And so cute. I made this probably 3.5 years ago, and it had a couple little holes on it. And when I saw that there were holes, I thought, oh, maybe I should just toss them. And Nathaniel brought him down to me, and I just sort of left him there, and Nathaniel brought him down and said, "Mommy, will you please fix my elephant?" And I thought, oh, do I have to? But then I looked at my little jar of scraps that I had, and I saw that I had some pink. And I saw that the hole was right here. So this is not a very well-formed heart, but I did think about making it a little bit more decorative. But I just sort of did some stitches, caught the broken stitches and the ladders that had broken apart, and made him a cute little pink heart. But he also had a little hole in his side, so I gave him I guess he was having an appendix attack, so I had to give him some surgery because he was having appendicitis. And then he had a little tiny hole here too, so he had a little bit of dental surgery as well. But you know what? I think it just makes him so much more lovable, and he's sort of like the Velveteen Rabbit, where he just, oh, he's worth keeping. And so I'm hoping there's no more holes, but anyway, so that was one of the little works in progress that I did this week, and now we've sort of got a finished object that had been a little bit unfinished and now is back to being a finished object again. So anyway, that is all I've got to share in my favorite things this week. I'm wondering what that paw was moving for. Silly dog. It's now time for the new acquisitions part of the episode, and that is brown paper packages. And this week I received a few brown paper packages. I even got a brown paper box, or brown cardboard box. And I'm going to share the one that just made my heart melt this week, which it was kind of funny because it was a gift from Sarah of Cauldron of Colors, and it was a birthday gift. And my birthday was a little over a month ago, but the post has been so strange. But I know that back around my birthday, Sarah sent me an email saying that she had received a parcel she had sent me back, and we figured out that my address hadn't been correct on the parcel. So I knew a parcel was coming, I just didn't know what was in it. And inside was I'll start off with the tea, because I talked about the tea already. There were 4, I've got one in my teacup right now, of the Taylor's Harrogate Rose Lemonade packages. There were 2 chocolates. I had one, and I actually shared the other one with Nathaniel, and because he had seen, you know, the 21st. I wasn't to open it till the 21st, which is Nathaniel's birthday, and then mine's the next day. And so that's my birthday, so he got a chocolate, and they were really yummy. But so tea, chocolate, and also in that package was a gorgeous, gorgeous skein of yarn. And it is lovely green with red, and it has the most amazing name, and that is Slytherin Friendship. And both Sarah and I are in the Slytherin house, so she is my housemate, and we've developed a really fun friendship. Last July, when I was in England, she sent me a Ravelry message because she wanted to know what yarn I had used for my amulet shawl, and it was the Tosh sock in the tart colorway. And I happened to know that there was a sale on at Unit in Toronto, and so she jumped on the website and was able to get some Tosh tart I think she got it on the merino light base. And so she finally got that, and this past week she dyed up a beautiful, beautiful red skein. I think it's going to be in tonight's update. And I had to send her a message and just say that she is definitely competing with the Tosh colorway there, because it was gorgeous. And I hope somebody picks that up really quickly, because it is a gorgeous red. So very, very well done, Sarah. That skein is gorgeous, gorgeous red. So and I let her know that too, because and she said when she dyed it reminded her as well of our first conversations about that yarn. So she's becoming a really fantastic dyer, and she keeps putting out these beautiful, beautiful colors, and this one is no different. So beautiful reds with little hints of brown, and this green. Oh, I love this emerald green. So I'm looking forward to knitting up something in singles on this one. This is a beautiful base, and as always, Sarah's yarns smell good. You still have to tell me what it is you put in there, Sarah. So anyway, thank you, Sarah. A very belated birthday gift, but it made me laugh because it was so late, and it was just a wonderful thing to receive in the mail for sure. So that was one of the very, very special things that I received this week. And I also, Instagram is very dangerous. A couple of weeks ago, I saw this combination on Instagram. And this is by Barnyard Knits, and I'm going to actually leave it in the package. And this one is Pacific, and this one is called Beach House. And I just thought it would make a beautiful sweater. So I did get a few skeins of the blue, and I got a couple of skeins of the Beach House, because I seem to want to knit all of the striped sweaters. So I just thought navy and white, or navy and white with speckles, is always classic and gorgeous. So I'm hoping to get to that eventually. Next thing I have to share is also from Barnyard Knits, and I decided to try to create my own fade, because I haven't quite decided whether I'm going to do the What the Fade knit along, but if I do, I've got my yarn for it. And so what I did was, while I was on the Barnyard Knits, because that Instagram, it comes up with these beautiful, beautiful shots. So again, sorry, I'm going to keep them in the package, but this is Summer Skies, and it's just this beautiful blue, and it's got little hints of pink. And then I love this Soho, which has the blue as well, and pinks and purples. And then I have Rosebud, which I keep seeing pop up and just love. And it's sort of more of a, it's got the creams in there with little hints of the pink. And that then goes into Spring Fling, which has a little bit more of the pink and some greens and a bit more cream, right into Sweet Juliet, which is pinks and the greens a little bit more, and this gorgeous, gorgeous one, which is Winterberry. And I love this pink and green together. And the Winterberry has the green that's in the Sweet Juliet, and there's also these beautiful little shots of sort of cranberry in there, and just this combination, so lovely. So I've been trying to lay it out and figure out which order I want to put them in. I did look at the numbers for the What the Fade knit along, and I definitely want the Sweet Juliet and the Winterberry to use up as much of the yarn as possible, because when you buy really beautiful yarn for a big project, you want to use as much of it as possible. So I might sort of try and figure out how I can put that in the center. So because I know the Soho and the Summer Skies is a little bit different as well, so maybe I'll figure it out. And it may be What the Fade, it may be something else, but something faded for sure. All of the Barnyard Knits yarns are sock base, and they are 75% merino, 25% nylon, and about 463 yards per skein. So that was from Barnyard Knits. And now we've got some spoilers happening. So spoiler alert, cover your eyes, cover your ears, whatever you have to do, run out of the room screaming. I have 2 Harry Potter spoilers to share with you. One's from Homespun House and the other one is from Nora George. So run away, whatever you have to do. I am about to spoil it. So I did receive both of these this past week. The first one is from Nora George, and it is called It's Leviosa, not Leviosa. And it is a lovely skein. And yes, there is yellow in there, but that yellow is broken up with these gorgeous speckles of orange. And there's even some purple in there. I spotted some red and a little bit of pink as well. There's some gorgeous little bits of purpley down there, and the green. The green is gorgeous, this lovely fern green, and these shots of the darker sort of emerald greens in there, so definitely lovely. And this is the Nora George Super Sock, which I absolutely love, and that's a 75% merino and 25% nylon, and it's about I think 425 meters, so about 460 something yards. And I always love this base. So first spoiler, it's beautiful, even though yes, it's yellow. The next one I'm going to show you is from Homespun House, and it is a skein of yarn, a mini, and a super miniature, and it is really, really beautiful. And this one here is She Spilled Her Secrets to an Invisible Stranger, and the little mini is called The Bite of the Basilisk. And I have to say, this one here has probably been my favorite Homespun House Harry Potter Club that I have received to date. And just these pinks and this gorgeous little bit of aqua. I'm really looking forward to figuring out what I'm going to knit with this. And it's super soft. This is the Soft Sock Merino, and it is 75 superwash merino, 25 nylon, and 425 meters as well. So glorious, wonderful spoiler. And look at that little bit of green. Pink and green always gets me. And the super miniature that goes with this. I showed Isaac, and he thought it was brilliant as well. So it came in this lovely little container and a little bit of fiber with it as well. And it is Tom Riddle's diary right there for spilling secrets into. And the Tooth of the Basilisk. And I'm sorry if it's not coming up clear, but it is a brilliant Sucra miniature for sure. So a gorgeous miniature that I think for next week I will put on my Lemon Difficult shawl. So I'll put that aside for now, for next week. And the box that my yarn was in today is now empty. So that is the end of brown paper packages. Okay, it's time to get serious. This week's topic is not only near and dear to my heart, I'm sure that there are other viewers out there who will know exactly what I'm talking about. And that is the concept of yarn names. And some yarn dyers, they've got us really pegged. Where I might go into my local yarn shop and pick up a skein of yarn and it's interesting, but I'm not really 100% sure. If I look at it and it's just this with, color number 15, unless I absolutely am dying for that color, it's probably going down. However, if that yarn has a name that just captures my heart because it is so near and dear to my heart, maybe it's unicorn poop or something like that, I have got to then put that yarn physically in my physical cart in a local yarn shop, or if it's an online shop, in my virtual cart. And I have got to check out with that yarn. And nobody's touching that yarn because that yarn is now so near and dear to my heart. And the color may be meh, but because of the name, I now have to have that yarn. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. This past week, I was watching a podcast, and the podcaster was talking about Once Upon a Corgi. And all I heard was Isaac base. And I thought, what? There's an Isaac base? And my firstborn son, his name is Isaac. So of course I then have to go to Etsy, find it, and there it is, Isaac base. And as I'm scrolling through the names, I see that there is the Lemony Snicket colorway. Well, I contemplated, I didn't quite put it in my cart, but I thought about it. And the next day I said to Isaac, I'm going to show you something and you're going to want this yarn. And he said, no, I won't, Mom. No, I won't. Well, I pull up the Lemony Snicket colorway on the Isaac base and I show him, oh, Mom, you've got to buy that yarn for me. I said, well, what do you want me to make with it? I want another shawl, Mom. But just going from I have no cares to I have to have that yarn, all based on a name. And of course, because it is on the Isaac base, Isaac had to have it. And because, I love my Isaac and that had already sort of been near and dear to me, he had to have that. So not only did he get that one, so the Lemony Snicket, because we've been watching that on Netflix. And if you haven't watched Lemony Snicket's Series of Unfortunate Events on Netflix, it is absolutely a riot. I highly recommend it. So he got that one, and he also got Nice Guys Finished Dead. And he's wanting a brioche shawl made with the two. So, yeah, yarn dyers, they got my number at least. And I'm sure they've got some of yours as well. And this week, that is my true confession. I bought yarn. It was beautiful yarn, it really was. But the name was the thing that really sold me on it. Bits and Bobs is my segment where I talk about things that maybe aren't so knitting related. And this week had us very, very busy. We continued with the straightening of the house, and the boys' rooms are looking a lot better. We moved some furniture around and got rid of some toys and some clothes that maybe don't fit them anymore. And my knitting room and my sewing room are starting to come together a little bit better. And my office is now in a better state as well. And we've moved some furniture from the boys' rooms into both of those rooms. And so lots of things sort of still in transit, which meant that my knitting wasn't as much as I would have liked it to be, but I am back to work tomorrow, so I wanted to get a lot of that stuff done beforehand so that there'd be a little bit of calmness in the house. We did have my sister-in-laws come to visit with my nephews earlier this week, and beautiful Scout there had a wonderful haircut and is just so much happier as she sleeps away during the podcast. Some other surprise visitors came as well. We also had the Bell installer come to upgrade our internet this week, so I'm really hoping that uploading the podcast takes a lot less time than it usually does. There have been nights where it has taken 3 hours to upload the podcast. So I'm really hoping that the speed increases, because with me going back to work tomorrow, I need to get to bed before 1, 2 in the morning. I got to get my sleep schedule back on. So it has been a busy week, but most of the time it is anyway. So not a heck of a lot of crazy stuff going on, but just a quiet week where a lot of homebody stuff happening. So another nice thing that's going to be happening tomorrow, I'll be returning to work, and I have a new office space that I'll be moving into in the next week or so. And I got to see it on Friday, and it is beautiful. Lots of windows with lots of natural light. The window's open, so I'll be able to get some fresh air in, and it'll be a nice bright space to work in, so I'm excited about that. A little difficult to go back to work after a nice calm holiday, but got to pay for that yarn somehow. So and I like my job, so it's sort of bittersweet. You know, it's nice to be home, but I do enjoy what I do, so that's good. So are you gonna come and say hello? You gonna say hello and let everybody see how beautiful you are? Thank you so much for coming to join me on the Comfy Red Couch this week. I hope that you've had a chance to refresh, relax, enjoy a beverage, work on your project of choice. As always, I appreciate the time that you've given me, and I hope to see you again next week on the Comfy Red Couch. Bye. So cute. Big hugs.